heard the roar and a buzz of tens of thousands of bees overhead. Obviously a swarm out. And they seem like they're going to locate themselves in one of my bait hives. Amongst the row of hives that I have on there, not all are active hives, so I put queen pheromone in some and a bit of lemongrass. So if there are any swarms out and about close, that they'll hopefully choose them to come into. The numbers are certainly thinning down in the air now, probably because I've got hundreds of them on my head and back as well. No, mainly because they are grouping and gathering on the hive, third from the end on the left. See, they do circle for quite some distance back. Although I do like catching swarms that have established or landed in trees and whatnot. It's certainly a lot easier if they come and land themselves in one of my hives. Which, when you leave a bait hive open, ready like that, you used some drawn combs from previous season. And they tend to like that. It's like going into another, taking over the nest of a previous, which is basically what is happening. So they've got their home set up and the queen can start laying, in the case of a prime swarm, almost immediately. And all these other bees that joined, all the worker bees and whatnot, they will be in and they'll be drawing wax straight away. Obviously it's near impossible to count the bees, but in a prime swarm it can be between 20 to 30,000 bees. Much less in the air now, the circling that the bees were doing for quite some distance, because they're all wondering where the queen is going, and she's got her escorts following her. But the circles are closing in more and more and more now, and they're all drifting in here. And what happens then is a lot of the swarm bees that are landing and following here are releasing, they're using their Nasonoff glands to release a pheromone that lets the other bees know where they are. So basically they're following a scent trail. Oops, sorry. One thing I can't guarantee here is whether that swarm came out from one of my hives, because by the time I saw the roar, they were covering quite a distance, but I couldn't see a particular hive that looked active. That looked overly active with the bees roaring out, but if they'd all been airborne by the time I was looking, it's difficult to say. So what I will need to do is check through the other hives to see if I can find further queen cells and then take action to deal with that. Otherwise they'll just keep releasing swarms. First the prime swarm goes, then cast swarms, and it goes down, and the hive could eventually end up either very small or empty. A few bees crawling on my face then, which is where I might have just paused a bit, but resisted the temptation to give them a slap or squash them quickly. And although they landed on me, they just somewhere to land before they move again. They're not out to sting. Because that's what people get overwhelmed and worry when they see so many bees about and think they're going to be attacked. This is actually the most unlikely time to even get a sting. See if we can zoom in a bit now. Can't see now, I should be I'm balanced on a wall, on the edge of a wall at the moment, so being careful. You can see that there's very, very few bees now in the end, and they are all down, landing and or flying close to hive 3 there. I had noticed the last few days, over the last week, since I put the pheromone on in this hive, that a lot of scout bees have been here and checking it out. So all's gone well. The other thing to do in this situation when you take in a swarm is to vaporize them with oxalic acid, which will kill off any varroa mites that are on the bees, and it only takes one treatment then to hit them all, get rid of the mites, because there is no brood at this stage. Right, get back to what I was doing now before I then get on with the rest of the bees. Bye for now.